Hi, we are Ken and Zaville, or Isabel. We lived on our sailboat Aquarius for 8.5 years and sailed around the world documenting it all since first day aboard.
Well, we're back.
Yes, we are.
So we've been doing a lot lately. We had to sell Aquarius, unfortunately. They say that one of the best days of your life is when you buy the boat, and when the second best day of your life is when you sell the boat. But I don't think that's true. I don't think that when we bought the boat it was the best day, or when we sold the boat it's the best day. It was very sad to sell the boat, and not so sure I really wanted to do it. But anyways, Aquarius was sold to a good person that's going to sail the boat around the world, I hope.
I think it wasn't the best day in your life when you sold Aquarius, because we sold it so quickly.
We did.
We
sold the boat in like 1 month, and then we after that I think we took over another boat.
Yes.
And sold it.
So our friends were getting confused. Which boat did you sell? Did you sell Aquarius? And we figured out by now we sold 3 boats. First one was Friendship 2, when we bought the masts to use on Aquarius after dismasting. Number 2 boat we sold, it was Aquarius, which we actually sold in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so. after we said it was for sale, yeah, I think it sold in about 2 weeks.
Yes. And the third one was a boat we prepared, cleaned, fixed, staged, and did everything for the owner because he was sick and he had to go back to US. So basically we arranged everything to be sold, and since it was posted after cleaning up and preparing, it sold within 3 months.
Yeah, we sold that boat in 3 months.
And it was off season in the Med. I would not recommend doing that, because we could have gotten even higher price if it would be within season, I think. But the seller was very happy.
I believe so. At the time, he was very happy. I think.
What do you mean I believe so? He expressed it so many times.
Yeah, but I think he's kind of sad he sold the boat too.
Yeah.
You know, he's not so sure. He wanted to get off the boat at that time, but I mean, health reasons pushed him off the boat. So that's behind us. So what did we do next? We ended up buying a place in Spain.
Yes. Right behind us, where you can see this beautiful vista.
But then after that, I thought I was going to take, maybe a year and just work on my health. But after that, I got my hips done, because over the last 9 years, I've been trying to get my hips better, but come to find out there's no way to make them better. And so I did the resurfacing, and I did so much research on so many doctors, so many places, what to put in me, and I waited till the last minute to actually get it done. But if you want a video about that, put something in the comments below, because I really did a lot of research on hip replacement versus hip resurfacing, which is basically a harder surgery than hip replacement. That's what I had done, hip resurfacing.
And after that resurfacing surgery, Ken, after 3 months after surgery, he's been skateboarding, snowboarding. I'm amazed by this man.
But anyways, now I'm playing basketball again, which was my goal.
We forget to mention that we also went on a big boat, on a cruise ship with Ken's mother and more extensive family, and went to Alaska.
Yep, we went on an Alaska cruise, and it was nice. It was nice being with family. It's a little bit difficult being on somebody else's boat, but I still think that I had a good time.
Yeah, that's a area that we wouldn't have sailed on Aquarius, I think. Aquarius is not a steel boat. It wouldn't go where the icebergs are hanging around. First was definitely, catching up with a family, taking the cruise, and we got a place in Spain, but we didn't do much then. Ken took care of his hips. That took a while to recover. Then we got back to the place, finished up the remodel, and now we are ready again to jump on somebody else's boat and either help to sell, help to buy, can help to upgrade the boat, or just teach.
So if you need help moving a boat or fixing up and selling a boat, and I think one of the big things is most people, when they get into sailing, they're in their 70s or 80s. So there's a lot of people that end up, in Asia or something like that, and now they think they're too old to move on, and now they've got a boat, they don't know what to do. I think we can help with those type of things. If you have health issues or something like that with the boat and you need to get it moved, I think we can help with that. And if you want to get started, we sailed a boat around the world. We sailed, up the Red Sea. I think we know a lot about, how to maneuver the boats, how to sail the boats, what to do, how to do it, and just make you feel more comfortable about sailing around the world.
Absolutely. When we took possession of Aquarius, we were dumbstruck. We didn't know where to start, what to do. Everything seemed like failing all the time because we were clicking the buttons that we didn't know what understood. So what was brilliant for us, Ken in the purchase contract, put that the owner and his wife should sail with us, and that was a God blessing. We learned so much because also the previous Aquarius owner, he also circumnavigated around the world.
And he wrote a book on it.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I think we looked at that the first year was just like really figuring out how to sail the boat and, check in, check out procedures. Then the second year, it was like more about maintaining. And then third year, about learning the sails and positions and everything. We got into the very calm, very quiet waters. And then the fourth year, I think we learned a lot about currents and all the other things.
No, I think I don't believe that that's true. I think we learned about the currents as soon as we transitioned from the Caribbean to the Pacific. That's when you oh my God, it's just like night and day. That's just like going from grade school to high school, because the currents, the tides are all much more in the Pacific than the Caribbean. So that was the transition. But the first year, and the second year, you're just trying to learn to check in, check out of countries, learning how to just maneuver. The second year, you're out there trying to just learn the boat. And then the third year, you just start to have fun. The rest of the time, it's work. It really is. It's a lot of work. Learning the boat, learning how to, like the water maker. There's a lot of things that are also misleading that YouTube channels put out, or basically people that make these units or water makers put out, and it's all kind of misinformation. I think once you start to talk to other sailors and you start talking to the people that you trust, it makes a big difference.
We're having a heat wave, and for the last couple of days, Alicante is getting ready for the biggest celebration of the year. It's called Hogueras, where they put so many colorful, super colorful statues throughout the city, and then they burn them.
Anyways, I went out last night at 3 o'clock in the morning and just filmed. Here's a little bit of what I saw. And it's just like, I got to see it all. Cops come, but the police are so nice here. I can't believe how nice they are.
And all the women comment how good looking they are. They all fit, they all good looking. All the women comment that.
Oh, I thought they were talking about me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
even not necessarily to say. Everybody knows. Look how fit this man. Show your muscles. He's been working out with a personal trainer on the beach, and the results are stunning.
Yeah.
And I know from my own experience, I always wondered what happens to the YouTubers, whoever, when they stop making the constant content. I always was wondering, how are they doing? And I think for us, it would be the first big question. How do you handle living on the land?
It's tough. and I'm really contemplating on getting another boat and moving ahead with sailing again. But this time I want to do it with partners, because the most expensive time when you own a boat is when it's on the hard because you want to go off and do something else, or it is
in the
marina. And as long as you have more people to keep the boat out of the marinas, you spend a lot less money. To put Aquarius in a marina, usually it's between 600 euros or $600 per month to maybe $2,000 a month. And you know, we have friends that in Florida that put a boat in the marina, it was like $4,000 a month. That's where you're going to spend the most money. So if you have partners that can keep the boat moving, keep it on anchor and having fun out where it's more fun, you know, to be on anchor someplace than in a marina, that's how you can own a boat cheaper. But if you're not using the boat, that's when things really go wrong, and that's when you get expensive stuff, or you find out you've got expensive stuff going on when you get back.
Yes, that's if you're lucky, if you get a really good boat that doesn't go bad all the time, because that's not always the case for other people. Maybe they don't know what they're doing and that's why they're having so many problems, but yeah, we noticed that too.
Anyway, so moving forward, we're available to help.
We definitely will be very happy. I can see that Ken is yearning to be back on the boat.
I would like to be back on the boat.
Yes. So again, if you need consulting on the upgrades, or you want to learn some things, or you need to help to sell or buy a boat, we are here to help you out, and we would be very happy.
Yep. I think next week I'll put out a video. You know, we'll start to put out videos about what you should know about before you get into sailing, and what you should do, and maybe have one video about expenses and things like that, have videos about, you know, how I would, you know, fit a boat. You know, I'll start doing videos like that so you can see what I think. All right, and we'll see you on the water. Bye-bye.